Hello aspirants. Looking at current affairs for 23rd July, Sunday, the news items picked up from the Hindu newspaper are these 20. We'll look at them in detail. The first one, EC failed to curb invisible money in polls, says Jaitley. So this is Union Finance Minister who is now also the Defence Minister holding the defence portfolio and also corporate affairs portfolio, Mr. Arun Jaitley. So the minister has stated that Election Commission has failed to check invisible money in elections. So in elections, there is invisible money used in the sense that there is money used in elections which is not accounted for. So to put them into account, what has been proposed by the finance minister in this present budget was electoral bond scheme. So this we have of course discussed when we discussed the budget, but we'll talk about it presently as well. So this electoral bond scheme actually tries to have no minimal cash transactions. So basically the idea is that, but how does it work? We'll discuss it in detail here. So he has said that improvement in direct and indirect tax compliance has taken place through demonetization and GST. So people have to pay taxes diligently. This is the purpose of these initiatives which have been taken so that money comes into the government exchequer. So that is the idea here. So another thing is that he says that if these initiatives will make it difficult to generate cash in the future. So cash is not good according to the government. You should have digital transactions. Digitization has to be, further taken ahead. So here, this is an initiative, electoral bond scheme based on this idea only, digitization. So we'll see what it is. He's saying that Election Commission and political parties have a problem with this proposal of the government of funding through electoral bonds. So electoral funding should take place through electoral bonds, actually funding for political parties. So we'll see what is this electoral bond all about. So here you can see the detail given. So Election Commission has also made some proposals. First, we'll see what was this budget proposal. Basically, when a cash donation is given to any political party, if you are making a cash donation of up to rupees 20,000, then there is no need for record keeping. So you don't need to disclose. That means the political party doesn't need to disclose that who these donors were, who have given donations up to rupees 20,000. So this is one thing. So now what the budget proposal says is this cap should be reduced. Cap of anonymous cash donations should be reduced to rupees 2,000. So of course, then rupees 2,000, there can be multiple times rupees 2,000 in different names also. They are not to be disclosed. They are anonymous cash donations. Of course, changing this cap doesn't make any sense because anyway they are anonymous. So you pay 2,000 10 times, or you pay 20,000, or you pay multiple times 20,000 to multiple times of 2,000 to, it doesn't matter. So cash donations up to 2,000 rupees remains anonymous. So this is an initiative. Actually, there should be no anonymous donations. So that is the ideal way to go ahead with it, but that is not what the budget proposed. Budget reduced 20,000 limit to 2,000, which has no sense. Then another thing which was proposed is that political parties should be allowed to receive donations digitally or through check. Of course, they are allowed. And electoral bonds is the initiative which it brought forth to facilitate payment through digital transaction or through check. So payment through digital transaction check is allowed in the sense that you pay in cash or you pay digitally or pay through a check to a political party. Of course, paying through check was not illegal or not allowed earlier. So it was of course allowed earlier. Then but if you pay by check, whatever be the amount, your transaction will be recorded. It can be found out. So digital transaction and check payments, the donor will be known. It can be known. But then with electoral bonds, this anonymity is brought in. The idea is that what you would do is you would go to a notified bank who sells electoral bonds. Of course, this has not been implemented yet. This is the plan, that there will be notified banks who will sell electoral bonds. So people who want to buy these electoral bonds will go to these banks, buy them digitally or through a check and give to a political party of their choice. Of course, these electoral bonds cannot be brought with cash. Can be brought through check or digital payment only, not through cash. So that's what he is emphasizing on, that this is digitization. So the identity is linked, but then again electoral bonds will ensure anonymity. So though it is digital, but there will be anonymity. So what would happen is that the party of their choice to whom they are making this payment, it will not be known to which political party they pay. That is the anonymity here. So parties will not have to name that this was the donor who paid these many lakhs of rupees through electoral bonds. That will remain anonymous too. So that is the idea why electoral bonds are brought. Otherwise, they can just say don't pay through cash, pay only through check or digital money. But that is not what it is. This cash limit has reduced. Digital check is allowed, but then electoral bonds is a facility provided. So anybody would pay through electoral bonds only, so that they can remain anonymous as well. So this is their party. So what will this electoral bond do? You go to a bank, you buy this electoral bond through digital transaction or through check, and then you give to the political party of your choice. The political parties will have these electoral bonds accumulated. They will have to link a bank account with the election commission, to which these can be encashed. So this will be there. So then the political parties can encash these electoral bonds. So this will be there. So you can see. However, there are proposals in the finance bill to amend certain acts which would exempt parties from disclosing donations received through electoral bonds and also the donors' names. So these will not be disclosed. That's the idea for electoral bonds, that you don't have to disclose the names, neither the person who is paying should not disclose. So this was the initiative taken, which of course is finding opposition from Election Commission as well as other political parties. So here you can see the contributions below 20,000, because till 2,000 limit is put into effect, it is 20,000 limit. So contributions, donations below 20,000, you can see the number of contributions in rupees crores from various political parties. Means 93 crores rupees for BSP came through donations below rupees 20,000. So 100% were contributions below 20,000. All donations were below 20,000. Means per donation. And for BJP also 50% of the donations were in the range of 20,000. So it got 872 crore rupees through these donations, and so on for all political parties. And income from unknown sources, you can see. So even for all political parties, BSP has 83% income from unknown sources, BJP 52%, Congress 75%. So this is there. So this will again, with electoral bonds also, income from unknown sources will become much more, because they will not disclose. Then how much do parties earn as such is also shown. The donations, annual income of political parties as such. So here you can see the income of parties and the donations which they receive. The donations as a percentage of income is quite high for BJP, then comes Congress. So this is for the period 2014-15. Then why current rules for disclosure or political funding are not enough? We have just gone through this. So you can go through these images too, which had come in Times of India. So you will come to know what should be there. Link all cash donations with Aadhaar is one suggestion which is being given. So all cash donations should be open. The donor should be known in all cases. Allow disclosure of names of buyers of proposed electoral bonds. Penalize parties for delayed reporting of income expenditure statements. So these reforms, such drastic steps are required to bring in transparency in funding of political parties. But that has not been attempted.